not worthy of you. I'm sorry. Just. You're awesome. I guess the next question is, can we go out again?
Maybe.
I might be a crybaby. Oh my God.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Graham. I'm really hoping this entire recording you guys don't hear my freaking PC going off because I don't know what happened to one of the bearings in the fans, but this thing sounds like a straight up cut exhaust on like an AMG or something. It's loud, but either way, we're going to be reacting to a new episode of 90 Day Fiancé, but I shouldn't even call it that show. I should just call it Ed's Misadventures in Life because we're following Ed, the biggest L magnet in the entire world. And as we last caught up with him, he was on this date where it was going pretty much horrendously, but they cut us off short. So what today's episode is going to be is the aftermath of that date and the ending of it and further struggles in him finding love, which of course you know this isn't going to work out after he already cried over his ex in the last part. Make sure you watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, without any further ado, let's just get into this and watch this train wreck happen in pretty much slow motion. It's going to be pretty painful but amazing at the same time.
Swing dancing was awesome, but now she seems very guarded, and I did cry. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Look, man, you can wear your heart on your sleeve all you want. I am honestly the same way. Like, that's another way that me and Ed are kind of similar. I'm a very emotional person, and it is easy for me to get worked up and cry sometimes because it's just overwhelming, the feelings, you know? But that is just something that you're gonna need to learn to control, and I'm surprised that he is, you know, in his 50s or 40s or however the hell old he is, and he still has not learned that life lesson. Like, obviously on a first date with a woman is not the appropriate time to be, one, talking about your ex that you freshly broke up with not only a few months ago, but two, cry over that same ex while you're trying to find new love. Like, you can see just the disgust on this woman's face, and she is ready to get this date over with, which I do not blame her. That is absolute trash activity from Ed here, and I don't know why he just thinks he can cry in front of anybody in any situation and it's gonna be okay.
I've moved on, and I wish her the best, but I'm in a much better place.
It sounds like you are.
Let's talk about something else.
Oh my God, she is getting some attitude now, rightfully so. I mean, I'd be annoyed if I got, you know, taken out on a date and it was going like this. That is just absolutely disrespectful to be acting like that, talking about your ex this entire time. It doesn't seem like Ed gets it. Like, I know that he obviously has not dated very often in his life, but this guy just cannot read social cues, especially when it's people that have negative feelings towards him, like they're annoyed by him or anything. He just keeps rolling with it and thinks that everybody finds him to be this adorable little teddy bear like his mom thinks he is, and it just doesn't work that way, dude. Like, you're pissing this woman off.
I was born and raised in New Jersey.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
What's a Jersey girl doing in Vegas?
Oh.
Did I say that right?
Nah, that actually wasn't close at all. Like, I love how he just tries to break the freaking awkward tension by making it even more awkward by landing an L joke that nobody's gonna laugh at. I just want to know what goes on in the inner workings of this man's mind, because there is something corrupted up there that just does not allow him to act like a normal human being in any social situation at all. It's quite mind-blowing.
Got divorced in July of last year.
Okay.
It's a whole rebirth process, finding out who you are, what you like.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
God, I hate this attitude from Ed. I don't know how to describe this. I know I always talk about his little mannerisms, but hopefully you guys notice the same thing. There's something about Ed when he gets serious that he just acts like he is in a rom-com. It's like one of those daytime television shows like Days of Our Lives. That's how bad the acting is. He slows down, starts breathing heavy, and blinks really fast and thinks that that just makes him seem like some smooth Casanova that's so emotionally invested in the conversation. But instead it just weirds me out. Like, yeah, she told you about her divorce just now, but you don't need to follow that up with, thank you for sharing that with me. I really feel like our relationship has changed ever since you let me in on that little secret. I promise I'll take it to my grave. Like, dude, it's not that serious. Just move on with the conversation, please.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
I like you. I have another awesome reason to come to Vegas.
No, you don't. But that's the thing, dude. You literally don't now. Like, you have your daughter here, but you are never going to be in contact with this woman again after this date. I can tell you that for sure. Not only are the cameras one thing for her, I'm sure, but the way you're acting on this date is just the thing that's gonna seal the deal. Again, this is him just not reading social cues and not realizing that when he says, "You're awesome, I like you," and she just nods and chews, that's not an actual positive response. That's her not saying it back and trying to send you a message that she is really not liking you at at this point. I also love that once he realizes he hits a wall with the conversation and he can't, you know, complain about his own life anymore, he doesn't have anything of substance to ask of her. And that's one of the things that's going to be difficult for him finding a relationship, is he literally does not know how to communicate with humans. As soon as he runs out of things to say about himself, you know what he switches to? Just pouring down compliments on the other party. Like, oh, you're so awesome. I can't wait for this food. It's probably gonna be so tasty, but I just can't stop looking at your eyes. You're amazing. I like you a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna come to Vegas all the time and talk to you now. Like, dude, you're coming on so intensely. Like, it's just way too much.
And I mean that.
Okay.
I guess the next question is, can we go out again?
Okay, so first of all, she hits him with a okay after he says he has another reason to, you know, visit Vegas. So what do you guys think her answer is going to be when he asks if they want to go out on another date? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it's a resounding no. And hopefully she draws a hard line here and doesn't lead him on, because this is not the type of person you want to lead on at all. He will just run it down into the ground and probably be texting her 100 times a day until she flat out says, dude, I'm not interested in you. You're a weirdo, way too intense, and you cried about your ex of 3 months ago on our first date.
Maybe.
Anyways, well, thank you again. I had a blast.
Thank you. I had fun.
Okay, so should we get out of here?
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, we should end this date. Thank you for ending my suffering. So yeah, that was a resounding maybe, which, I mean, you could have played that better. You got to give him a hard no, but I understand there's awkward implications here, because now you have to, you know, be driven back to your house and you don't want to have a terribly awkward ride home. Like, I understand that, but hopefully as soon as she got home, she sends him a lengthy text saying, thank you for the date, but I don't find us compatible and I don't think we'll go out anymore, because that's what Ed needs. He needs to realize what works and what doesn't work in dating, and this whole strategy that he's had this entire date is just things that don't work.
This was fun.
It was. Thank you so much.
Have a good night. Have fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
All right, bro. This is so painful. Like, this entire episode has been back to the OG Ed cringe. Just something about the subtleties of the cringe and like the realism of it is what makes it so painful. If you're walking your date up to the door and you stop and she turns around and then continues to back up a couple steps, that is not a good sign. Like, I don't see any masks present, so both of them obviously are not too worried about, you know, their contact with each other, but she still chooses to social distance at the end of this date, and with good reason. It's more of just a awkward distance, because she realizes if she gets too close, she might get bopped on the nose with a little kiss like Liz did, and that's something you really want to avoid, because that would scar you for life. Oh well, though, that date was another L in Ed's book, and I'm not gonna lie, I think he struggles with this one. You know, a little bit of the next episode goes on where he's talking to his mom and giving Teddy a bath and pretty much complaining about the fact that he just really cannot find a woman. So his mom has a good idea and says, look, I think you should find someone that has the same heritage as you. You need to find a Latina woman, and that would be somebody that you can connect with and start a family with, because she believes that, you know, Latina women like her have a lot of core family values that are very important. And what I want to know is, what ethnicity was that woman he just went out on a date with? Because I think that's exactly what he just tried, and it's very clear it's not the type of woman that he's going for that's the issue for Ed. It's his whole entire dating strategy and personality and inability to actually have a good conversation beyond, you're hot, I like you, and oh, my life sucks, I broke up with my ex.
I had reached out to my friend Laura. She lives in Mexico. And I said, look, can you help me find a girlfriend? I'm not having any luck whatsoever.
So yeah, that's the next phase for dating for Ed. He realizes, I gotta go back to the homeland here. Hit up one of my friends over in Mexico. She has a friend that's single, and now he's about to FaceTime or Skype or whatever it is, probably Zoom or something, with this person over in Mexico that doesn't quite speak the best English, but that might actually be an advantage for Ed, because that would be like going back to his roots with his first girlfriend on the show. I don't know if you guys remember that far back, but Rose was a very similar way. I think the communication barrier almost killed some of the awkwardness, because, I mean, most of the awkwardness was coming from them not quite understanding each other, instead of them both knowing English very well, and the awkwardness coming from everything that Ed was saying. Like, it's almost a shield for him. So hopefully this Skype conversation works out. Let's see how this goes for him.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola.
Hola. How are you?
How are you doing, Coyote? Am I saying your name right?
Kaori. Yes.
Okay, we're starting things off great here. You're already calling her by the name of an animal. Her name is not Coyote, bro. Ugh, this is gonna be painful, I can already tell. But another thing, did they just hire Larissa again? I know she's like on this show as well, I'm pretty sure, during part of this, but this looks like Larissa just went and cut her hair. You know, Colt's ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance. Are they just reusing characters in this show at this point, or did they find her literal twin? Because they look so similar, especially like their teeth and everything are like spot on together. So I don't know what's up with that, but let's keep going. Hopefully this isn't too awkward for old Ed here, or the other woman in this situation, Kaori.
But you're so beautiful. Muy bonita.
Oh, thank you. Very handsome. I like your hair
See?
and your canas blancas, the white hair.
See, Ed, as soon as you cut your hair and you actually started looking your age and you stopped box dyeing it black, people enjoy it. Like, that was something I was saying in the beginning. I think this new look for Ed is actually pretty successful. It makes him look a little bit more, you know, esteemed and rich. I don't know what it is about just having normal hair at an old age, but that's what you should be doing. So I'm glad this works out for him. And honestly, this isn't as awkward as I was thinking so far. They seem to be hitting off ever so slightly, but I'm just wondering about the logistics of this. Like, are they really trying to force Ed to go to another country again and have a whole heartbreak across the world? If so, this is about to be an amazing freaking season.
You see? Oh, gracias. Okay. Mas. I'm just kidding.
Ah, you're so ego.
Yes.
She's like, you're low-key just so conceited. No, I'm not gonna give you more compliments. That was literally the only one I could muster right now. I can't think of anything else. Like, I guess your glasses look kind of cool, but let's move on.
Teddy.
Oh,
Teddy thinks you're pretty.
hey, Teddy.
Say hi, Coyote.
So as another strategy to kind of kill the awkwardness, or I don't know what it is about Teddy, but he pretty much has to introduce to every single prospect romantically as soon as he can. I know it's like his child, but you also do have a literal daughter you could talk about. You don't have to just talk about your dog. Either way, he brings that out, and it's a bit successful in lightening the mood. And they don't really show too much more of this conversation, but it seems like the two of them are hitting it off. So maybe they conclude this in the next episode, or there are some further, you know, developments in their relationship. But it seems like Ed is bouncing back from that terrible date that he just went on that we witnessed that was an absolute train wreck. I'm sure you can agree. So hopefully in the upcoming episodes that I react to, we see a redemption arc for Ed where he starts to actually have a normal relationship and normal conversations with people. And I think that would be the best outcome possibly for this show. I'm still confused on the whole, you know, leak of him and Liz being engaged. It seems like we're almost, you know, a little bit through the season at this point. I don't know how much longer it's going to go. It seems like Liz is completely out of his life, but who knows? There may be a twist here and this whole Skype relationship doesn't work for him, and then all of a sudden Liz re-enters and they get engaged. If that happens, I will probably throw up out of sadness. But either way, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of Ed in general on that date. That was absolutely painful. And as always, I appreciate you guys that watched until the very end. Thank you, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, as well as leave a like and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads and further reactions to Big Ed and his L of a life. So as always, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until next time, peace out.